Act 1, Scene 1. Rome. A street. Enter a company of mutinous citizens with staves, clubs, and other weapons.
Before we proceed any further, hear me speak.
Speak!
You are all resolved rather to die than to famish.
Resolved!
First, you know Caius Marcius is chief enemy to the people.
We know it.
Let us kill him, and we'll have corn at our own price. Is it a verdict?
No more talking on. Let it be done. Away!
Let it be done.
No way. One word, good citizens.
We are accounted poor citizens, the patricians good. What authority surfeits on would relieve us, if they would yield us but the superfluity, while it were wholesome? We might guess they relieved us humanely, but they think we are too dear. The leanness that afflicts us, the object of our misery, is as an inventory to particularize their abundance. Our sufferance is a gain to them. Let us revenge this with our pikes, ere we become rakes. For the gods know I speak this in hunger for bread, not in thirst for revenge.
Would you proceed especially against Caius Marcius?
Against him first. He's a very dog to the commonalty.
Consider you what services he has done for his country?
Very well, and could be content to give him good report for't. But that he pays himself with being proud.
Nay, but speak not maliciously.
I say unto you, what he hath done famously, he did it to that end. Though soft-conscious men can be content to say it was for his country, he did it to please his mother, and to be partly proud, which he is, even till the altitude of his virtue.
What he cannot help in his nature, you account a vice in him. You must in no way say he is covetous.
If I must not, I need not be barren of accusations. He hath faults with surplus, to tire in repetition.
Shouts within.
What shouts are these? The other side of the city is risen. Why stay we prating here? To the Capitol!
Come!
Soft! Who comes here?
Enter Menenius Agrippa.
Worthy Menenius Agrippa, one that hath always loved the people.
He's one honest enough. Would all the rest were so.
What works, my countrymen, in hand? Where go you with bats and clubs? The matter, speak, I pray you.
Our business is not unknown to the Senate. They have had inkling this fortnight what we intend to do, which now we'll show 'em in deeds. They say poor suitors have strong breaths. They shall know we have strong arms too.
Why, masters, my good friends, mine honest neighbours, will you undo yourselves?
We cannot, sir. We are undone already.
I tell you, friends, most charitable care have the patricians of you. For your wants, your suffering in this dearth, you may as well strike at the heaven with your staves, as lift them against the Roman state, whose course will on the way it takes, cracking 10,000 curbs of more strong link asunder than can ever appear in your impediment. For the dearth, the gods, not the patricians, make it, and your knees to them, not arms, must help. Alack, you are transported by calamity thither where more attends you, and you slander the helms of the state, who care for you like fathers, when you curse them as enemies.
They ne'er cared for us yet. Suffer us to famish, and their stone houses crammed with grain. Make edicts for usury, to support usurers. Repeal daily any wholesome act established against the rich, and provide more piercing statutes daily to chain up and restrain the poor. If the wars eat us not up, they will, and there's all the love they bear us.
Either you must confess yourself wondrous malicious, or be accused of folly. I shall tell you a pretty tale. It may be you have heard it, but since it serves my purpose, I will venture to stale it a little more.
Well, I'll hear it, sir. Yet you must not think to fob off our disgrace with a tale. But, an it please you, deliver.
There was a time when all the body's members rebelled against the belly, thus accused it, that only like a gulf it did remain in the midst of the body, idle and unactive, still cupboarding the viand, never bearing like labour with the rest, where the other instruments did see and hear, devise, instruct, walk, feel, and mutually participate, did minister unto the appetite and affection common of the whole body. The belly answered,
Well, sir, what answer made the belly?
Sir, I shall tell you. With a kind of smile, which ne'er came from the lungs, but even thus, for, look you, I may make the belly smile as well as speak, it tauntingly replied to the discontented members, the mutinous parts that envied his receipt, even so most fitly as you malign our senators, for that they are not such as you.
Your belly's answer, what? The kingly crowned head, the vigilant eye, the counsellor heart, the arm our soldier, our steed the leg, the tongue our trumpeter, with other muniments and petty helps in this our fabric, if that they—
What then? For me, this fellow speaks. What then? What then?
should by the cormant belly be restrained, who is the sink of the body.
Well, what then?
The former agents, if they did complain, what could the belly answer?
I will tell you, if you bestow a small, of what you have little, patience awhile, you'll hear the belly's answer.
Ye're long about it.
Note me this, good friend, your most grave belly was deliberate, not rash like his accusers, and thus answered. True is it, my incorporate friends, quoth he, that I receive the general food at first, which you do live upon, and fit it is, because I am the storehouse and the shop of the whole body. But if you do remember, I send it through the rivers of your blood, even to the court, the heart, to the seat of the brain, and though the cranks and offices of man, the strongest nerves and small inferior veins, from me receive that natural competency whereby they live, and though that all at once, you, my good friends, this says the belly, mark me.
Ay, sir. Well, well.
Though all at once cannot see what I do deliver out to each, yet I can make my audit up, that all from me do back receive the flour of all, and leave me but the bran. What say you to it?
It was an answer. How apply you this?
The senators of Rome are this good belly, and you the mutinous members. For examine their counsels and their cares, digest things rightly touching the weal of the common, you shall find no public benefit which you receive but it proceeds or comes from them to you, and no way from yourselves. What do you think, you the great toe of this assembly?
I the great toe. Why the great toe?
For that, being one of the lowest, basest, poorest, of this most wise rebellion, thou goest foremost. Thou rascal, thou art worst in blood to run, leadst first to win some vantage. But make you ready your stiff bats and clubs. Rome and her rats are at the point of battle. The one side must have bail.
Enter Caius Marcius.
Hail, noble Marcius!
Thanks. What's the matter, you dissentious rogues, that rubbing the poor itch of your opinion, make yourselves scabs?
We have ever your good word.
He that will give good words to thee will flatter beneath a boring. What would you have, you curs, that like nor peace nor war? The one affrights you, the other makes you proud. He that trusts to you, where he should find you lions, finds you hares, where foxes, geese. You are no surer, no, than is the coal of fire upon the ice, or hailstone in the sun. Your virtue is to make him worthy whose offence subdues him, and curse that justice did it. Who deserves greatness deserves your hate, and your affections are a sick man's appetite, who desires most that which would increase his evil. He that depends upon your favours swims with fins of lead, and hews down oaks with rushes. Hang ye, trust ye, with every minute you do change your mind, and call him noble that was now your hate, him vile that was your garland. What's the matter, that in these several places of the city you cry against the noble senate, who under the gods keep you in awe, which else would feed on one another? What's their seeking?
For corn at their own rates, whereof, they say, the city is well stored.
Hang 'em, they say. They'll sit by the fire, and presume to know what's done i' the Capitol, who's like to rise, who thrives and who declines, side factions and give out conjectural marriages, making parties strong, and feebling such as stand not in their liking below their cobbled shoes. They say there's grain enough. Would the nobility lay aside their ruth, and let me use my sword, I'll make a quarry with thousands of these quartered slaves, as high as I could pick my lance.
Nay, these are all most thoroughly persuaded, for though abundantly they lack discretion, yet are they passing cowardly. But, I beseech you, what says the other troop?
They are dissolved, hang 'em. They said they were an hungry, sighed forth proverbs, that hunger broke stone walls, that dogs must eat, that meat was made for mouths, that the gods sent not corn for the rich men only. With these shreds they vented their complainings, which, being answered, and a petition granted them, a strange one, to break the heart of generosity and make bold power look pale, they threw their caps, as they would hang them on the horns of the moon, shouting their emulation.
What is granted them?
5 tribunes to defend their vulgar wisdoms, of their own choice. One's Junius Brutus, Sicinius Velutus, and I know not, 'sdeath. The rabble should have first unroofed the city, ere so prevailed with me. It will in time win upon power, and throw forth greater themes for insurrections arguing.
This is strange.
Go, get you home, you fragments.
Enter a messenger hastily.
Where's Caius Marcius?
Here, what's the matter?
The news is, sir, the Volsces are in arms.
I am glad on't. Then we shall have means to vent our musty superfluity. See, our best elders.
Enter Comenius, Titus Lartius, and other senators.
Marcius, 'tis true that you have lately told us. The Volsces are in arms.
They have a leader, Tullus Aufidius, that will put you to it. I sin in envying his nobility, and were I anything but what I am, I would wish me only he.
You have fought together.
Were half to half the world by the ears and he. Upon my party, I'd revolt to make only my wars with him. He is a lion that I am proud to hunt.
Then, worthy Marcius, attend upon Comenius to these wars.
It is your former promise.
Sir, it is, and I am constant. Titus, thou shalt see me once more strike at Tullus's face. What, art thou stiff? Standest out?
No, Caius Marcius, I'll lean upon one crutch and fight with t'other. Stay behind this business.
O true bred!
Your company to the capital, where I know Our greatest friends attend us.
To Comenius.
Lead you on.
To Martius.
Follow, Comenius, we must follow you. Right worthy you priority.
Noble Martius.
To the citizens.
Hence to your homes be gone.
Nay, let them follow. The Volsces have much corn. Take these rats thither to gnaw their garners. Worshipful mutiners, your valour puts well forth. Pray, follow.
Citizens steal away, exeunt all but Sicinius and Brutus.
Was ever man so proud as is this Martius?
He has no equal.
When we were chosen tribunes for the people,
marked you his lip and eyes?
Nay, but his taunts.
Being moved, he will not spare to gird the gods.
Bemock the modest moon.
The present wars devour him. He is grown too proud to be so valiant.
Such a nature, tickled with good success, disdains the shadow which he treads on at noon. But I do wonder his insolence can brook to be commanded under Comenius.
Fame, at the which he aims, in whom already he's well graced, cannot better be held, nor more attained than by a place below the first. For what miscarries shall be the general's fault, though he perform to the utmost of a man, and giddy censure will then cry out of Myrtius, if he had borne the business.
Besides, if things go well, opinion that so sticks on Martius shall of his demerits rob Comenius.
Come, half all Comenius' honours are to Myrtius, though Myrtius earned them not, and all his faults to Myrtius shall be honours, though indeed in aught he merit not.
Let's hence, and hear how the dispatch is made, and in what fashion. More than his singularity, he goes upon this present action.
Let's along.
Exeunt. Scene 2. Corioli, the Senate House. Enter Tullus Aufidius and certain senators.
So your opinion is, Aufidius, that they of Rome are entered in our councils, and know how we proceed.
Is it not yours? Whatever have been thought on in this state that could be brought to bodily act ere Rome had circumvention? 'Tis not 4 days gone since I heard thence. These are the words. I think I have the letter here. Yes, here it is.
Reads.
They have pressed a power, but it is not known whether for east or west. The dearth is great, the people mutinous. And it is rumored, Comenius, Martius your old enemy, who is of Rome worse hated than of you, and Titus, a most valiant Roman, these 3 lead on this preparation whither 'tis bent. Most likely 'tis for you. Consider of it.
Our army's in the field. We never yet made doubt, but Rome was ready to answer us.
Nor did you think it folly to keep your great pretences veiled till when they needs must show themselves, which in the hatching, it seemed, appeared to Rome. By the discovery we shall be shortened in our aim, which was to take in many towns ere almost Rome should know we were afoot.
Noble Aufidius, take your commission, hie you to your bands. Let us alone to guard Corioli. If they set down before us, for the remove bring your army. But, I think, you'll find they're not prepared for us.
Oh, doubt not that. I speak from certainties. Nay, more. Some parcels of their power are forth already, and only hitherward. I leave your honours. If we and Caius Martius chance to meet, 'tis sworn between us we shall ever strike till one can do no more.
The gods assist you.
And keep your honours safe.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 3. Rome. A room in Martius's house. Enter Volumnia and Virgilia. They set them down on 2 low stools, and so.
I pray you, daughter, sing, or express yourself in a more comfortable sort. If my son were my husband, I should freelier rejoice in that absence wherein he won honour than in the embracements of his bed, where he would show most love. When yet he was but tender-bodied and the only son of my womb, when youth with comeliness plucked all gaze his way, when for a day of kings' entreaties a mother should not sell him an hour from her beholding, I, considering how honour would become such a person, that it was no better than picture-like to hang by the wall, if renown made it not stir, was pleased to let him seek danger where he was like to find fame. To a cruel war I sent him, from whence he returned, his brows bound with oak. I tell thee, daughter, I sprang not more joy at first hearing he was a man-child, than now in first seeing he had proved himself a man.
But had he died in the business, madam, how then?
Then his good report should have been my son. I therein would have found issue. Hear me profess sincerely, had I a dozen sons, each in my love alike, and none less dear than thine and my good Martius, I had rather had 11 die nobly for their country than one voluptuously surfeit out of action.
Enter a gentlewoman.
Madam, the Lady Valeria is come to visit you.
Beseech you, give me leave to retire myself.
Indeed you shall not. Methinks I hear hither your husband's drum. See him pluck Aufidius down by the hair, as children from a bear, the Volsces shunning him. Methinks I see him stamp thus, and call thus, Come on, you cowards! You were got in fear, though you were born in Rome. His bloody brow with his mailed hand then wiping, forth he goes, like to a harvest-man that's tasked to mow, or all, or lose his hire.
His bloody brow! O Jupiter, no blood!
Away, you fool! It more becomes a man than gilt his trophy. The breasts of Hecuba, when she did suckle Hector, looked not lovelier than Hector's forehead, when it spit forth blood at Grecian sword contemning. Tell Valeria we are fit to bid her welcome.
Exit gentlewoman.
Heavens bless my lord from fell Aufidius.
He'll beat Aufidius' head below his knee, and tread upon his neck.
Enter Valeria, with an usher and gentlewoman.
My ladies both, good day to you.
Sweet madam.
I am glad to see your ladyship.
How do you both? You are manifest housekeepers. What are you sewing here? A fine spot in good faith. How does your little son?
I thank your ladyship. Well, good madam.
He had rather see the swords and hear a drum than look upon his schoolmaster.
On my word, the father's son. I'll swear 'tis a very pretty boy. On my troth, I looked upon him a Wednesday, half an hour together. Has such a confirmed countenance. I saw him run after a gilded butterfly, and when he caught it, he let it go again, and after it again, and over he comes, and again, catched it again. Or whether his fall enraged him, or how 'twas, he did so set his teeth and tear it. Oh, I warrant it, how he mamicked it.
One on's father's moods.
Indeed, la, 'tis a noble child.
A crack, madam.
Come, lay aside your stitchery. I must have you play the idle hussif with me this afternoon.
No, good madam, I will not out of doors.
Not out of doors?
She shall, she shall.
Indeed, no, by your patience. I'll not over the threshold till my lord return from the wars.
Fie, you confine yourself most unreasonably. Come, you must go visit the good lady that lies in.
I will wish her speedy strength, and visit her with my prayers, but I cannot go thither.
Why, I pray you?
'Tis not to save labour, nor that I want love.
You would be another Penelope. Yet they say all the yarn she spun in Ulysses' absence did but fill Ithaca full of moths. Come, I would your cambric were sensible as your finger, that you might leave pricking it for pity. Come, you shall go with us.
No, good madam, pardon me. Indeed, I will not go forth.
In truth, La, go with me, and I'll tell you excellent news of your husband.
Oh, good madam, there can be none yet.
Verily, I do not jest with you. There came news from him last night.
Indeed, madam.
In earnest, it's true. I heard a senator speak it. Thus it is. The Volsces have an army forth, against whom Cominius the general is gone, with one part of our Roman power. Your lord and Titus are set down before their city Corioli. They nothing doubt prevailing, and to make it brief wars. This is true, on mine honour, and so I pray go with us.
Give me excuse, good madam. I will obey you in every thing hereafter.
Let her alone, lady. As she is now, she will but disease our better mirth.
In troth, I think she would. Fare you well, then. Come, good sweet lady. Prithee, Virgilia, turn thy solemnness out a door, and go along with us.
No, at a word, madam. Indeed I must not. I wish you much mirth.
Well, then, farewell.
Exeunt. Scene 4. Before Corioli. Enter, with drum and colours, Martius, Titus Lartius, captains and soldiers. To them a messenger.
Yonder comes news, a wager they have met.
My horse to yours? No.
'Tis done.
Agreed.
Say, has our general met the enemy?
They lie in view, but have not spoke as yet.
So the good horse is mine.
I'll buy him of you.
No, I'll nor sell nor give him. Lend you him I will for 100 years. Summon the town.
How far off lie these armies?
Within this mile and half.
Then shall we hear their larum, and they ours. Now, Mars, I prithee, make us quick in work, that we with smoking swords may march from hence, to help our fielded friends. Come, blow thy blast.
They sound a parley. Enter 2 senators with others on the walls.
Tullus Aufidius, is he within your walls?
No, nor a man that fears you less than he. That's lesser than a little.
Drums afar off.
Hark! Our drums are bringing forth our youth. We'll break our walls, rather than they shall pound us up. Our gates, which yet seem shut, we have but pinned with rushes. They'll open of themselves.
Alarum afar off.
Hark you, far off. There is Aufidius. List what work he makes amongst your cloven army.
Oh, they are at it.
Their noise be our instruction. Ladders, ho!
Enter the army of the Volsces.
They fear us not, but issue forth their city. Now put your shields before your hearts, and fight, with hearts more proof than shields. Advance, brave Titus. They do disdain us much beyond our thoughts, which makes me sweat with wrath. Come on, my fellows. He that retires, I'll take him for a Volsci, and he shall feel mine edge.
Alarum. The Romans are beat back to their trenches. Re-enter Martius, cursing.
All the contagion of the south light on you, you shames of Rome, you herd of... Boils and plagues plaster you o'er, that you may be abhorred further than seen, and one infect another against the wind a mile. You souls of geese that bear the shapes of men, how have you run from slaves that apes would beat? Pluto and hell, all hurt behind, backs red and faces pale with flight and aged fear. Mend and charge home, or by the fires of heaven I'll leave the foe, and make my wars on you. Look to it, come on! If you'll stand fast, we'll beat them to their wives, as they us to our trenches followed.
Another alarum. The Volsces fly, and Martius follows them to the gates.
So, now the gates are ope, now prove good seconds. 'Tis for the followers fortune widens them, not for the flyers. Mark me, and do the like.
Enters the gates.
Foolhardiness not I.
Nor I.
Martius is shut in.
See, they have shut him in.
To the part I'll warrant him.
Alarum continues. Re-enter Titus Lartius.
What is become of Martius?
Slain, sir, doubtless.
Following the flyers at the very heels with them he enters, who, upon the sudden, clap to their gates, he is himself alone to answer all the city.
O noble fellow, who sensibly outdares his senseless sword, and when it bows, stands up. Thou art left, Martius, a carbuncle entire, as big as thou art, were not so rich a jewel. Thou wast a soldier even to Cato's wish, not fierce and terrible only in strokes, but with thy grim looks and the thunder-like percussion of thy sounds, thou madest thine enemies shake, as if the world were feverous and did tremble.
Re-enter Martius, bleeding, assaulted by the enemy.
Look, sir.
Oh, 'tis Martius. Let's fetch him off, or make remain alike.
They fight, and all enter the city. Scene 5. Corioli, a street. Enter certain Romans with spoils.
This will I carry to Rome.
And I this.
A Merinont. I took this for silver.
Alarum continues, still afar off. Enter Martius and Titus Lartius with a trumpet.
See here these movers that do prize their hours at a cracked drachma. Cushions, leaden spoons, irons of a doit, doublets that hangmen would bury with those that wore them. These base slaves, ere yet the fight be done, pack up. Down with them. And hark, what noise the general makes. To him. There is the man of my soul's hate, Aufidius, piercing our Romans. Then, valiant Titus, take convenient numbers to make good the city, whilst I, with those that have the spirit, will haste to help Cominius.
Worthy sir, thou bleedst. Thy exercise hath been too violent for a second course of fight.
Sir, praise me not. My work hath yet not warmed me. Fare you well. The blood-eye drop is rather physical than dangerous to me. To Aufidius thus I will appear, and fight.
Now the fair goddess Fortune fall deep in love with thee, and her great charms misguide thy opposers' swords. Bold gentleman, prosperity be thy page.
Thy friend no less than those she placeth highest. So, farewell.
Thou worthiest Martius.
Exit Martius.
Go, sound thy trumpet in the marketplace. Call thither all the officers of the town, where they shall know our mind. Away!
Exeunt. Scene 6. Near the camp of Cominius. Enter Cominius, as it were in retire with soldiers.
Breathe you, my friends, well fought. We are come off like Romans, neither foolish in our stands, nor cowardly in retire. Believe me, sirs, we shall be charged again. Whiles we have struck, by interims and conveying gusts, we have heard the charges of our friends. Ye Roman gods, lead their successes as we wish our own, that both our powers, with smiling fronts encountering, may give you thankful sacrifice.
Enter a messenger.
Thy news?
The citizens of Corioli have issued and given to Titus and to Martius battle. I saw our party to their trenches driven, and then I came away.
Though thou speak'st truth, methinks thou speak'st not well. How long is't since?
Above an hour, my lord.
'Tis not a mile. Briefly we heard their drums. How couldst thou in a mile confound an hour, and bring thy news so late?
Spies of the Volsces held me in chase, that I was forced to wheel 3 or 4 miles about, else had I, sir, half an hour since brought my report.
Who's yonder, that does appear as he were flayed? O gods! He has the stamp of Martius, and I have before time seen him thus.
Within.
Come I too late?
The shepherd knows not thunder from a tabor, more than I know the sound of Martius' tongue from every meaner man.
Enter Martius.
Come I too late?
Ay, if you come not in the blood of others, but mantled in your own.
Oh, let me clip ye in arms as sound as when I wooed, in heart as merry as when our nuptial day was done, and tapers burned to bedward.
Flower of warriors, how is it with Titus?
As with a man busied about decrees, condemning some to death and some to exile, ransoming him or pitying, threatening the other, holding Corioli in the name of Rome, even like a fawning greyhound in the leash, to let him slip at will.
Where is that slave which told me they had beat you to your trenches? Where is he? Call him hither.
Let him alone. He did inform the truth. But for our gentlemen, the common file, a plague. Tribunes for them? The mouse ne'er shunned the cat as they did budge from rascals worse than they.
But how prevailed you?
Will the time serve to tell? I do not think. Where is the enemy? Are you lords of the field? If not, why cease you till you are so?
Martius, we have at disadvantage fought, and did retire to win our purpose.
How lies their battle? Know you on which side they have placed their men of trust?
As I guess, Martius, their bands in the voward are the Antiotes of their best trust, or them Aufidius, their very heart of hope.
I do beseech you, by all the battles wherein we have fought, by the blood we have shed together, by the vows we have made to endure friends, that you directly set me against Aufidius and his Antiates, and that you not delay the present, but, filling the air with swords advanced and darts, we prove this very hour.
Though I could wish you were conducted to a gentle bath and balms applied to you, yet dare I never deny your asking. Take your choice of those that best can aid your action.
Those are they that most are willing. If any such be here, as it were sin to doubt, that love this painting wherein you see me smeared, if any fear lesser his person than an ill report, if any think brave death outweighs bad life, and that his country's dearer than himself, let him alone, or so many so minded, wave thus to express his disposition, and follow Martius.
They all shout and wave their swords, take him up in their arms, and cast up their caps.
O me alone! Make you a sword of me? If these shows be not outward, which of you but is 4 Volsces? None of you but is able to bear against the great Aufidius a shield as hard as his. A certain number, though thanks to all must I select from all. The rest shall bear the business in some other fight, as cause will be obeyed. Please you to march, and 4 shall quickly draw out my command. Which men are best inclined?
March on, my fellows. Make good this ostentation, and you shall divide in all with us.
Exeunt. Scene 7. The gates of Corioli. Titus Lartius, having set a guard upon Corioli, going with drum and trumpet towards Cominius, and Caius Martius enters with lieutenant, other soldiers, and a scout.
So, let the ports be guarded. Keep your duties as I have set them down. If I do send, dispatch those centuries to our aid. The rest will serve for a short holding. If we lose the field, we cannot keep the town.
Fear not our care, sir.
Hence, and shut your gates upon us. Our guider come to the Roman camp conduct us.
Exeunt. Scene 8. A field of battle. Alarum is in battle. Enter from opposite sides Martius and Aufidius.
I'll fight with none but thee, for I do hate thee worse than a promise-breaker.
We hate alike. Not Afric owns a serpent I abhor more than thy fame and envy. Fix thy foot.
Let the first butcher die, the other slave, and the gods doom him after.
If I fly, Martius, hollow me like a hare.
Within these 3 hours, Tullus, alone I fought in your Corioli walls, and made what work I pleased. 'Tis not my blood wherein thou seest me massed. For thy revenge, wrench up thy power to the highest.
Wert thou the Hector that was the whip of your bragged progeny, thou shouldst not 'scape me here.
They fight, and certain Vulces come to the aid of Aufidius. Martius fights till they be driven in breathless.
Officious and not valiant, you have shamed me in your condemned seconds.
Exeunt. Scene 9. The Roman camp. Flourish. Alarum. A retreat is sounded. Flourish. Enter from one side Cominius with the Romans, from the other side Martius with his arm in a scarf.
If I should tell thee o'er this thy day's work, thou'dst not believe thy deeds. But I'll report it where senators shall mingle tears with smiles, where great patricians shall attend and shrug, i' the end admire, where ladies shall be frighted and gladly quaked hear more, where the dull tribunes that, with the fusty plebeians, hate thine honours, shall say against their hearts, we thank the gods our Rome hath such a soldier. Yet camest thou to a morsel of this feast, having fully dined before.
Enter Titus Lartius, with his power from the pursuit.
O General, here is the steed, we the caparison, hadst thou beheld—
Pray now, no more. My mother, who has a charter to extol her blood, when she does praise me, grieves me. I have done as you have done, that's what I can, induced as you have been. That's for my country. He that has but effected his good will hath overtaken mine act.
You shall not be the grave of your deserving. Rome must know the value of her own. 'Twere a concealment worse than a theft, no less than a traducement to hide your doings, and to silence that which, to the spire and top of praises vouched, would seem but modest. Therefore I beseech you, in sign of what you are, not to reward what you have done, before our army hear me.
I have some wounds upon me, and they smart to hear themselves remembered.
Should they not, well might they fester 'gainst ingratitude, and tent themselves with death. Of all the horses, whereof we have ta'en good and good store, of all the treasure in this field achieved and city, we render you the 10th, to be ta'en forth before the common distribution at your only choice.
I thank you, General, but cannot make my heart consent to take a bribe to pay my sword. I do refuse it, and stand upon my common part with those that have beheld the doing.
A long flourish. They all cry, cast up their caps and lances. Cominius and Titus stand bare.
May these same instruments which you profane never sound more, when drums and trumpets shall i' the field prove flatterers. Let courts and cities be made all of false-faced soothing. When steel grows soft as the parasite's silk, let him be made a coverture for the wars. No more, I say, for that I have not washed my nose that bled, or foiled some debile wretch, which, without note, he as many else have done. You shout me forth in acclamations hyperbolical, as if I loved my little should be dieted in praises sauced with lies.
Too modest are you, more cruel to your good report than grateful to us that give you truly. By your patience, if 'gainst yourself you be incensed, we'll put you like one that means his proper harm in manacles, then reason safely with you. Therefore be it known, as to us, to all the world, that Caius Martius wears this war's garland, In token of the which, my noble steed, known to the camp, I give him, with all his trim belonging, and from this time, for what he did before Corioli, call him, with all the applause and clamour of the host, Caius Marcius Coriolanus. Bear the addition nobly ever.
Flourish, trumpets sound, and drums.
Caius Marcius Coriolanus.
I will go wash, and when my face is fair, you shall perceive whether I blush or no. Howbeit, I thank you, I mean to stride your steed, and at all times to undercrest your good addition to the fairness of my power.
So to our tent, where ere we do repose us, we will write to Rome of our success. You, Titus, must to Corioli back. Send us to Rome the best, with whom we may articulate for their own good and ours.
I shall, my lord.
The gods begin to mock me. I, that now refused most princely gifts, am bound to beg of my lord general.
Take't, 'tis yours. What is't?
I sometime lay here in Corioli, at a poor man's house. He used me kindly. He cried to me. I saw him prisoner, but then Aufidius was within my view, and wrath o'erwhelmed my pity. I request you to give my poor host freedom.
Oh, well begged. Were he the butcher of my son, he should be free as is the wind. Deliver him, Titus.
Marcius, his name.
By Jupiter, forgot. I am weary, yea, my memory is tired. Have we no wine here?
Go we to our tent. The blood upon your visage dries. 'Tis time it should be looked to. Come.
Exeunt. Scene 10. The camp of the Wolseys. A flourish. Cornets. Enter Tullius Aufidius, bloody, with 2 or 3 soldiers.
The town is ta'en.
'Twill be delivered back on good condition.
Condition? I would I were a Roman, for I cannot, being a Volscia, be that I am. Condition! What good condition can a treaty find to the part that is at mercy? 5 times, Marcius, I have fought with thee. So often hast thou beat me, and wouldst do so, I think, should we encounter as often as we eat. By the elements, if e'er again I meet him beard to beard, he's mine, or I am his. Mine emulation hath not that honour in't it had, for where I thought to crush him in an equal force, true sword to sword, I'll potch at him some way, or wrath or craft may get him.
He's the devil.
Bolder, though not so subtle. My valour's poisoned with only suffering's stain by him. For him shall fly out of itself, nor sleep nor sanctuary, being naked, sick, nor fane nor capital, the prayers of priests nor times of sacrifice, embarkments all of fury, shall lift up their rotten privilege and custom gainst my hate to Marcius. Where I find him, were it at home, upon my brother's guard, even there against the hospitable canon would I wash my fierce hand in's heart. Go you to the city. Learn how 'tis held, and what they are that must be hostages for Rome.
Will not you go?
I am attended at the cypress grove. I pray you, 'tis south the city mills. Bring me word thither how the world goes, that to the pace of it I may spur on my journey.
I shall, sir.
Exeunt. End of Act 1.